Hey Jacko,
Hey
hope you're
mate,
well.
good thanks.
Good to hear. I guess just the magnitude of this game, especially given the way things are poised and the loss against Bahrain last time. How big an opportunity or big a game is this?
Yeah, it is an opportunity. I think that's definitely the way we're approaching it this week. We've taken big strides forward. Again, I think another step forward on Thursday night. I think, obviously it wasn't the result we were really hoping for, but I think especially the second half performance gave us a lot to build on. And I think if we reach those performance levels that we reached in the second half on Thursday, we have a really good chance to win on Tuesday.
Obviously, Goody was suspended for that first game. I know he's sort of really raring to go. What does it do for you guys having a guy with his quality ready to go, especially when things could get really tense and difficult against a team like Bahrain?
Yeah, his quality is obviously undeniable, and he offers so much. He's strong mentality. He's a really popular guy amongst the group, but his work rate and just that ability to find that end product in key moments has been why he's been such an important player for us over the last couple of years. And in set piece moments and in open play, he's capable of delivering at the right time. So no doubt he'll have a big role to play for us tomorrow night.
Luke? Jackson, hope you're well, mate. Wanted to wash up from the Saudi game show just in terms of those attacking patterns, chances created. Is there any talk of when people are through to go themselves instead of that? There was a few layoffs that sort of didn't happen or didn't have the end result required. Is there anything like that the wash-up showed, mate?
It's tough to say. I think it's sometimes when you look at each individual moment, you can understand the decisions that were made within the context of each of those moments within the game. It's when you probably look at them all together that it looks like, all right, we need to have that more clinical edge, whether it's someone taking more responsibility earlier and without the hesitation, or whether it's squaring the ball in the right time for someone else to have an easier moment. As you say, it's there's no right or wrong answer. It's just about making sure that we find that clinical edge individually and collectively to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. I think we showed in those moments that we're capable of creating chances different ways. As we say, like we had a couple of good winning the ball high up in their final third a couple of times at the end of the first half, and also again a set piece moment with Harry early on, and a couple of good moments in the second half in where we play through the lines and create something really well. So we're showing we can create all different types of chances. We just need to obviously clamp down on that clinical edge and make sure we put it in the net.
How's you finding the juggle with you and Maddie? Can you give us sort of an idea of how you're working together? I mean, Tony keeps telling us Maddie's the captain, but you're obviously leading the team on the field. How behind the scenes are you sort of working together to, I guess, as a leadership group, or presumptuous of me, are you doing that?
Yeah, we have a really good dynamic. We always have amongst the senior players in the squad, and myself and Maddie in particular. And the boss is absolutely right. Maddie is, of course, the captain of this team, and we lean on his experience, his his mental capacity, what he brings, the dedication he's put into this team over the last 10 years. He's done it all, been through all those moments, and the asset that he is. Of course, at the moment it's me that's out there on the pitch, but his experience and his leadership is undeniable. And for us, it's just always about finding balance, as we have, and got players like Aziz and now players like Harry and Aidan O'Neill, even, who are captaining their clubs and showing leadership across the board. So it's great to have that amongst the squad. But of course, we've always had a really good dynamic within this team, and finding ways to make sure that everybody's getting what they need.
Yes.
G'day guys. So having said that, Jacko, how is Matt in camp? Because although Popper says there hasn't been a changeover in his preferred keeper, it is Joe that's playing at the moment. How are those guys working together in training?
Yeah, great. Matty's the ultimate professional, and he cares so deeply about this team. And of course, he wants nothing but for the team to be doing the best it possibly can and getting the results we need and performing at our highest level. And so he brings everything that he always brings on the day-to-day to make sure that we have that. As you say, Joey's been the one that's been in the net the last few games, and his performances have been excellent. And I think that dynamic probably is pushing everybody within a certain, within the context of that. It shows everybody that, that how key your performances have to be, and you have to be kind of on it all the time to make sure you maintain your place in the team.
Definitely. The last game, obviously, against Bahrain was super frustrating. I imagine to play, definitely to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Has Popper got the plan? Is the team ready to unlock them this time?
Yeah, I think it's not really a specific plan for any one game, but it's the structure that we've been working on over these last two camps about finding that new identity, those new patterns of play within our possession, but also within our defensive structure. That's been obviously a highlight over the last two clean sheets as well. So it's about building on all of those things, and we showed, even against China in a tough moment where we go behind and we have to kind of battle our way back into the game, that we're capable of fighting through those difficult moments, and we're expecting there'll be a lot of those tomorrow night. And when we maintain our discipline and focus on performing within the structure of the framework that we've been set, we believe that'll be enough for us to get the 3 points.
Marco?
G'day, Jackson. Just mate, what do you make of this group, the way teams taking points off each other? Because I think China won the other night, so they're on 6 now. It's this battle for what's named second spot, pretty sort of intense, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're halfway through now, and it's it's probably a lot tighter than a lot of people are expecting. But it shows how competitive the group is. But for us, when we feel like we haven't reached anywhere near the potential of our performance levels and what we're capable of, it's great that we're in a position that everything's still in our hands. And of course, the other teams will be looking at their own individual place within that group. But for us, we just focus on our position and what we can control. And playing against another team that's kind of in amongst us in Bahrain tomorrow night shows how important every game can be.
And the Nishan injury, it's a bit sad for him.
Yeah, gutted finish. He's been an absolute breath of fresh air since he came into the squad. He's so positive. His performances have been excellent. It's a real shame. I'm really disappointed for him. But hopefully it's not a bad one. He can get himself back on the pitch with his club and keep his levels high, because I've got no doubt he's going to have a role to play over the next few months in this team as well.
Charlie?
Hey Jackson, just going to read off a few stats for you. So you've won more duels than any other midfielder in the Bundesliga this season. You've created more chances than the likes of Musiala. Only 7 players have assisted more than you in the league as well. So it feels like you're really coming into a good spell of form. PFA Player of the Year, captaining the Socceroos, 3 games on the bounce. Do you kind of feel that you are coming into the best moment of your career, would you say?
Yeah, it's the last couple of years have been, I feel like I've progressed massively in every aspect of, my career, my game, individually. And, of course, with the situation with my club now playing at the highest level. So, the biggest thing with me is I'm never want to stand still, at any point in my career. And at this moment in particular, where I'm, carrying probably a little bit more responsibility than I've carried in the past as well, it's me even more important that you maintain those performance levels and continue to grow. And because, even despite all of those things, it can change very quickly as well. So I don't take it for granted, and I've probably never been more focused and driven and motivated to not only maintain the level of my performance, but grow on and build on it again, and a chance to take another big step forward in the next kind of 9 months, and of course maintain Bundesliga status most importantly, and make sure that this team goes to another World Cup. There's a lot to play for, and you need to be at the very top of your game to make sure that not only you can contribute in the best way possible, but also to make sure that you're constantly available and can be there for the team in those moments.
Luke, come to you.
Yeah, Jack, just in not only the position you're in from a leadership point of view, but actually physically on the field. The first 30 minutes of games have been talked about a lot, where teams have pressed you really aggressively and it's got a little bit frantic. Have you any thoughts on how to rectify that?
Yeah, there's no really one answer to that. I think it is a question of sometimes the players on the pitch being able to identify solutions in those moments, about trying to find answers quicker, because I've talked about that a bit this week about playing in the Bundesliga and the difference in level and stuff, and same at international level. Players are so adaptive and flexible, and you need to constantly be looking to find different answers for the way that they come at you. And I think that's probably something we can improve on. Is obviously Saudi came out with a very high man-orientated pressing in the beginning of the game. We probably weren't able to one, play through that, and then secondly, we didn't win enough second balls to then be able to maintain possession kind of further up the field. So of course we didn't limit, we gave them they had no chances against us kind of in that time, but for us just to be able to settle into games probably a little bit quicker, we need to be able to identify where the spaces are, the best way to kind of find our way into the game, and then use that to settle ourselves down. And again, you're never quite sure what's going to come at you again tomorrow night. It could be a high press, it could be a very deep block where you never quite know. So we have to identify that on the pitch and try and settle into the game a little bit quicker.
Is there something that Popper's tried to replicate on the training field? I mean, there's a lot of you in camp. Obviously, I think it was 25 or 26 with Goody back in. Is there anything you've done in training to sort of replicate playing through that experience?
Yeah, well, that was the main focus of training yesterday, was kind of looking at that, especially up and around, in and around our box, and being calm and trying to find solutions in those areas. It was a topic of conversation post-game after Saudi, and we've looked at it this week, and hopefully, if the same situation arises tomorrow night, we'll be more equipped to deal with that.
Vince?
G'day, Jack. I'm going to go for a 2-for-1 here. What have you made of the new guys in midfield? Caceres, we know very well. Max Ballard as well. Have they added a new hunger to training? And also, Cass said he watched the first game against Bahrain and he thought Australia should be taking more chances, just being a bit more aggressive or attacking. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, he's not wrong. I said it after the game, I've been a big fan of Cass for a long time. I think he's long overdue. It was an opportunity to be a part of this team, and he's shown at training, and even in his moments on the pitch the other night, that he's what he's capable of and these qualities, and he's such a useful player in the middle of the pitch to be able to, someone that can break pressure, can take the ball, and always wants to do something positive. And so he's definitely added that, and great personality amongst the team as well. I know he knows a lot of the boys personally for a long time as well, which helps settling in, and he's definitely added something to the team. And young Max as well, I've had a good chance to speak with him a couple of times over the last week as well, and he's got that real energy and enthusiasm that you love to see from a young player that's not only grateful to be here, but wants to come in and show something at training, and try and earn a chance to get on the pitch. And he's doing obviously great things at his club, playing week in, week out, and in Holland, in his first season in Europe's no easy achievement. And those boys in particular have impressed me, obviously looking from a midfielder's perspective.
You for the last one? Or two?
Yeah, perfect. Jacko, we've spoken to Harry about this as well, but especially if Maddie doesn't take the field, you'll be the one having to lead the way here. Frustration, if Bahrain try to frustrate you, time waste, dark arts, those sort of things. I know the guys have talked about being calm. How do you handle that in terms of, as one of the leaders, making sure it doesn't get to you, it doesn't grind things down, it doesn't, I guess, get costly for you, as it maybe has done when teams are frustrated in the past?
Yeah, there's kind of two ways of looking at it, I think. Of course, the number one is you want to maintain that discipline and not allow it to rattle us away from our game. But at the same time, you don't want to allow teams to get away with, certain kinds of behaviour, and you need to, have each other's backs and try and manage the game. You got to, as a leader, sometimes have to manage the referee and these kinds of moments. And of course, you want to leave it alone as much as you can, but there are moments when you have to manage that situation as well. So probably the first game against them, we didn't find that balance well enough. We allowed it to become the story of the game, I guess, would be the way to put it. And that's the biggest thing you want to avoid. You want that drama to not be the centre of the game. You want our performance to be the main focus. And of course, these things will happen, but the way we deal with it, in terms of not allowing it to take away from our football, and then, leaving it to, players like the older players and the coaches on the side to manage the things we can't control.